Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. I'm sorry I'm late. I lost track of time. For those of you who are new, my name is Jules. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a commercial food photographer and stylist and cookbook author. And every single Saturday, we sit and we chat for about an hour and a half, and we plan, or you might journal, or you might do art, or whatever. And yeah. That's what we do. This week, I'm going to be planning my upcoming week, and I think I am now done with this first round of PR for my book until it starts again in July for Disability Pride Month. And I'm tired and I'm exhausted, and I have so fallen out of my planners. It's not even funny. I've just been exhausted, and I just have not had the time. Um, so yeah, I'm going to plan my week and then try doing some backfilling. Um, and the last 2 weeks of July or June, when I'm on holiday, I'm just going to try my best to, um, like, at least get the biz backfilled, but based off what is in my calendar and what I can remember. And we are on going on to this week. And then do some deco in my days. July is a new half month, and I'm just really hoping that I am back, that I'm, yeah, back in my planners, because this has sucked. Just being out of it, I've said it before, and I will say it again, that I feel absolutely discombobulated when I'm not using them. Like, I just don't even know. If you're watching, come say hi in chat and let me know what you are up to. Also, like, I'm hoping now that I am done with this first round of promo that I will have time to start working, like, resume working on my next project. Because I've just had no time for anything. It's all my spoons have been used for interviews and exercise. I'm looking at my week. I think it's empty. This has been canceled because my doctor is sick, and this is the second time this has been canceled, and I don't know what I'm going to do because I need a medication change. Okay, let's start with hello, Anomic. How are you? How was your child's birthday? Let me know what's new with you. What are you working on this week? Um, Time off number 5. Got to remember Monday is a holiday, or not holiday, but it's I do not work on Mondays. And let me color that in so I remember. Excuse my ridiculous head popping in. Oh, yeah, and last week I had a migraine. I hope you saw the note in the community tab. I almost canceled day 2 for the same reason, and as I was setting up, I realized that my regular battery was not charged. So I'm using like a backup battery, and it says it's full, but I don't know. Um, if the video goes out, you will still be able to hear my audio, and we may just have to end the stream early because I don't know how my battery didn't get charged, but it didn't get charged. Anomic is saying that they had a good birthday this week and they are working on their reading journal. Awesome. Yeah, so I had some amazing coverage What have I been up to? What have I been up to? I've had some amazing coverage the last couple weeks for my book. So amazing, in fact, that I sold out again on Amazon Canada. And I'm really hoping that Amazon Canada, because I was number one bestseller on Amazon Canada for close to a week in canning and preserving. I was number two in reference, ahead of salt, acid, fat, heat. Like, come on. I've dropped down in the rankings on Amazon Canada because they do not have my book in stock and people can get it. And I'm not going to say no worries about the battery. Thank you. Um, Hopefully, this is now the second time that they've sold out because they have not been ordering enough to keep in their warehouses. And it hurts my rating every time they do that, as I'm telling people to go elsewhere, because I'm not going to tell disabled people who need to cook, oh, how about you wait like 2 to 3 weeks before Amazon gets it back in their warehouses? Um, so that has been interesting and amazing, but also very frustrating because Amazon is the number one shopping marketplace for disabled people, especially in rural areas where a lot of supplies that disabled people need are only possible to get on Amazon. So, yeah, that has just been, it has been interesting. Um, but yeah, I got some really nice, like multiple week-long coverage from the CBC, both in French and English. And I was on Wisconsin Public Radio, and I had a really nice, long, like very long, in-depth story about like not just the book, but about me and like the reason, just my love of cooking, how disability affected that, um, why food is important to me, like the people who have influenced me, and that was on the Discourse, which is a Canadian independent publication which focuses on stories on Vancouver Island. Um, I'm going to be in the Philadelphia Inquirer sometime this week, which is interesting. Of all they're putting, um, and I'm like saying that they got my book in Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat in the same week. I mean, Salt, Acid, Fat, Heat is one of my favorite cookbooks. It was one of the comps that I used in my proposal for selling the book. And admin time is admin days. That's going to be my priority this week, number one. Um, yeah, so it's one of my comps, and it's one of my favorite books. And so to be competing with them is a big freaking deal. And so, yeah, that's just made me really proud. Um, Yeah, Philadelphia Inquirer. I don't know why. They're doing a roundup of summer cookbooks to buy, and for whatever reason, they're including mine, of all the places. Um, Wisconsin Public Radio, that made sense because the person who wrote the foreword for my book, John Kovalik, who's a friend of mine, um, yeah, he lives in Wisconsin, so that one made sense. Um, and then I'm going to be Life Hacker is an article in Life Hacker coming out this week. Coming week, Civil Eats, which is another American outlet. Um, I have a big feature coming out in the National Post, which is a Canadian national media newspaper, and they're not only doing it online but in print, and it's going to be in print in not only the National Post but all of their like sub newspapers like the Sun and a few others. So that is like all the stuff that I've. Oh yeah, and there's another feature coming out in Extra, but it starts with an X, TRA. which is a Canadian media outlet that focuses on queer issues and queer health and queer rights and stuff like that. Um, so, and then they're doing another big, huge media push, they being my publisher for July for Disability Pride Month. And I'm tired. I mean, I am tired, but all for good reasons. And they're planning a bunch of workshops, and I'm doing a recorded Q&A for some group in the US. I think they're based out of North Carolina, who like their website is focused on like resources for disabled people and like where they can find grant money and just like yeah, stuff like that. So um priority admin. Continue baking. Um, hobo setup. So, and I'm like saying, oh yeah, it's Pride Month as well, so they might want some rep for that too. Yeah. So we're kind of holding, even though there are some papers like Extra and stuff who are using the fact that I'm queer as like some of the stuff, there's a lot of, because of a lot of the anti-trans and just like it has spilled over into Canada. And I've already had, like, as an example, people misgendering me when they've been sharing, like, willfully misgendering me when they've been sharing articles that, and we know it's willful because they're changing the pronoun in the headline, as an example, when they share it on social media. So, I mean, it's not a fun time right now for queer people. Like, Pride started as a riot and as like a protest, and then it turned into like a celebration, and it just feels really um what's the word, depressing. um it's more, it goes beyond like disheartening that it's just this pride is really, it's really sad. um And I don't know. I don't know. And so I'm just trying really hard to focus on the really good things. On my author website, I wrote a post yesterday because yesterday was the 1 month publication anniversary of my book, and so it was like all the cool things that have happened since publication. Like I've earned out on my advance. That is pretty major. Personal time, LCG. I might be going to a second print soon. That's awesome. So let's celebrate that. And I am in libraries. So of course, Canada and the U.S. libraries, and lots of copies. But I'm also in libraries in the Netherlands, in Germany, in Botswana, Israel, and United Emirate, no, UA, yeah, yeah, UA, which is, and soon to be Australia. So, I mean, that's really cool. That's really, really cool, and I'm interested to know why universities are um, carrying my book. Because I mean, it's yeah, that's just like, are they going to be doing like including it in their disability studies? I don't know, but it is in their libraries. So, um, yeah, there's some great things happening, but it's also a little scary right now. It's to put it mildly. Break. So we're pushing more the disability pride angle for Disability Pride Month in July, just because um, it is safer for me. Even though if somebody wants to use, yeah, it is cool. Even though if somebody wants to use the queer angle when they're promoting my book, like extra, obviously, please do that. But it's yeah, it's really, yeah, it's bittersweet. I guess that is one way of putting it. Um, Exercise. Oh, that's wrong. Because I've changed the days of exercise. Though, actually, no. Because if I do decide, I think I'm going to now that I'm done. I have no interviews this week. For the past few weeks, I've only been doing my strength training and not my cardio, even though strength training is also cardio, because I've just been so exhausted. And now that I have, like, this is the first week since the May 4th, May 3rd. Let's go back. May 4th. So this is the first week since May 4th that I have not had a press interview. I have to change, yeah, I have to change. There was an interview on Friday. Yeah. So that's a long time. Okay, let's start. Let's 5 straight weeks of press. Good people are tiring. Yeah. Yep. That's a good way to put it. So this week I'm gonna try and get back into my cardio. Oh, I have to do this all up here too because I miss it. Um, Continuing ed and prep is admin time, which is BG020 MG. So, have you tried any of the recipes in my cookbook yet, out of curiosity? If you haven't, that's fine. Just curious. Oh, I forgot to do breakfast. Okay, I will do that after. Like, what am I forgetting? I am never changing this color scheme. I mean, I might change up what colors are used for what, since I will never remember. I have not anywhere close to memorizing them, and that's probably because I just have not had time. Um, they just can't live and let live, yeah. And there was a major um, trans rights in New Brunswick were rolled back this week, which is unconstitutional and against our Charter of Rights and Freedom. So we're just waiting for a lawyer to take it on pro bono. But I don't know why I did that when that's normally covered. But and I'm saying they made the chili. It was awesome. Oh, I'm so glad that you enjoyed that. I mean, I call it effing good chili, but like tastes vary. And just because I think something is effing good doesn't mean someone else will think it's effing good. So it's nice to know that someone else thinks that it is awesome. Grocery, delivery, um, milk delivery, and this is continuing and prep. Um, Continuing in prep. Anyways, if you go, no, I'm saying trying to decide between the ground beef casserole and the chicken stew for the next recipe. Ooh, I am partially, I am partial to the Mexican ground beef casserole only because it has some heat to it. Though the chicken stew is excellent as well. And the chicken stew is like one of those comfort things. It's very like a hug, where the beef casserole is like flavor. I mean, they're both flavorful, but it's different. Um, but they're both very good, if I do say so myself. I mean, I am completely biased because these are all recipes that I developed. But yeah, I am. I am very yeah. But out of the two, the casserole is my favorite. Break. What else is going on? I mean, so we watched Shiny Happy People on Amazon Prime. Watch it if you have not already. We finished watching season 2 of Ted Lasso. It was or season 3, I should say. It was very good. I like the way they ended it. Um, it's like, even though we know the actors, especially the lead, I can't think of his name right now. It's like he's done for a while, but they ended it in such a way that it could come back sometime in the future. And I'm like saying that they have some buffalo in the freezer, so that might work better. Oh, buffalo would be really good in it. Yeah, do that. Do that. Do that substitution. That would be great. Um, what else? Oh yeah, we just finished watching season 2 of Bel Air, and it was good. I would say it was not as good as season 1, but it was good. It was a little predictable and formulaic, which I really hate to say about an all black show, because how many all black shows are there? But I think that's the reason why it makes me a little disappointed, only because how many all black shows are there, and it's very formulaic. Insofar as, like, exactly what's going to happen every episode, like it's very trope heavy, and but not in like like against black people. It's like not black stereotype tropes, like the bad tropes. It's just the storylines are very formulaic. It's almost feels to me like they were like, we need to show black people um who are excelling at life, and but we don't know how that looks in a black context, so we're going to do white storylines in a very formulaic way and superimpose it on a black family who's in the upper middle class, if that makes sense. It's weird to me. And I'm like saying, oh, did you get to look at everybody's So Creative clips on YouTube, plot tropes? No, I have not. I'm gonna have to do that. But yeah, it's just very. I mean, it's it because I like this. Like the first season was excellent. And the second season was just I just don't know. It's like we're gonna have black people using speaking like inappropriate the way that black communities speak, but we're gonna make them white. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know. And I really hate to say that, but that's just how it felt to me. But what do I know? I'm a white person. So, but I'm just saying how it felt to me as a white person. And I don't know what they could have done differently, but and I'm like saying, I wonder if the writer's strike has something to do with it. No, because it finished airing in the US, I want to say like 4 or 5 months ago, and it just finished airing in Canada. And we wait until seasons are done, and then we like watch a season within a week. But I want to say the last episode aired in the US in March. And then I'm like saying, yes, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, it's just, I really wanted something that was not like every other, I don't know. And it's not to take anything, because it's still a really good show, and the actors are really good. I don't know, but it was not, it was just, something was lacking. And I need to like do some diving into Black YouTube and see some commentary from Black people on it to see how they felt about it, to see if I'm like way off base, what exactly about it doesn't work for me. Because yeah, it was, I don't know. Still worth watching though, absolutely still worth watching, and I hope there is a third season whenever Hollywood goes back. Because again, like how many all black shows do you see on television? I mean, you see very few white people in it, which is nice and refreshing. And my writing group is on Wednesday. What else? There was something else that. Oh, we watched the Arnold docu-series on Netflix. You need to watch that. Holy cow. Do I have a lot of respect for Arnold Schwarzenegger. And to not give spoilers, um, but everyone is like, but he was a Republican. And I'm like, he's Republican in name only. He, like, being a new, like, an immigrant to America and coming, like, growing up in post World War II Austria, like, he really bought into the American propaganda, especially the American propaganda that Reagan was selling about how America is the greatest country in the world and the whole American dream, and anyone can make it here. And Arnold like became a millionaire within a few years of living in the U.S. So like it really resonated with him. However, he did not govern as a Republican. And there's no way he would be elected as a Republican today. Like, absolutely no freaking way. So, like, one episode is on his bodybuilding, one episode is on his career as an actor, and then the other episode is about his personal life and his career as a politician. And I learned things about what he did as governor that is like, wow, like you changed California in ways that are amazing. And it's too bad all those changes, like, got erased because that was one hell of a legacy that you left. Um, but it wasn't just that, it was his willingness to own up to all the horrible things he has done in the past and not make any excuses for it. Like he like there was one comment where a lot of people will make excuses about my behavior like it was another time. And this is like in regards to him touching women without their consent. That's one example, a thing that we all well know about. Is like a lot of people would are very inclined to say that that was another time and that's just how men behaved. And Arnold said there is no excuse for that ever. You should never, like, nobody should treat people that way. And I my behavior was very disrespectful and abhorrent, and for that I am deeply regretful and I apologize. And I was like, holy crap. Like, just like that alone, I'm like, I have mad respect for that. And it's like, why are you the way you are, Mr. Schwarzenegger? Like, I want to be your friend because you are, that is a rare, and it shouldn't be rare, but unfortunately, it is a rare thing to see in especially cis men of that generation. But of anybody in that generation, like, there's a lot of people who want to make excuses for that type of behavior that happened back in the day. Um, but he does not do that at all. He does not shy away from his mistakes, and there's a lot of them, and he does not, yeah, he confronts them openly and honestly without trying to make himself look better than he was. So it was just very nice and refreshing, to say the least. Um, what the heck and heck? That's right. So watch that. Um, we watched the new Wanda Sykes comedy special, and that was really good. I recommend that. We also watched the new Hannah Gatsby, is that her last name? Special, and that was good. Hold on. Is that her last name? Hannah? I pronounce it wrong. Yeah, Hannah Gatsby. So, I'm about to, I think this afternoon, I'm going to watch Creed 3 because I love the Rocky series. Anomik is saying, one question about the cookbook is there a reason for what germ in the cornbread if I don't have it, or will it still come out? It is just to add some extra protein. So if you do not have it, it will still come out fine. It's just to add a little bit of extra more protein to the bread to bump up its nutrition factor. So yeah, you're good to omit it. And I should have said that actually in the cookbook. If we ever do a revised version, then I need to make a note to explain what the wheat germ is for, because that is an amazing question that I just, it never, like, normally the editor, when, like, the copy editor was going, um, where do I want to put this? Like, they had a lot of questions when they were reading it for me to, like, clarify in the text. This doesn't make sense. I don't understand this. I don't, like, why is this the way it is? To allow me to, like, go back in and write and clarify those things. Let me put it actually in here. And so, no, maybe. I think I can do it. I'll put it in here, and I'll just have to do a reminder to. Um, and yeah, nobody asked a question about that in the edit process. Prep up the kitchen. Oh, wrong side. Or just put optional by it. Yeah. Well, if yeah, putting optional by it though would change the caloric value and the nutritional information. And so anything, and I lost my lid, anything that has, hold on, anything that has optional beside it, oh crap, hold on, I can't move my chair, um, is not added to the nutritional information. So yeah, so I would have to change the nutritional information to reflect no without the added protein. Um, so it would just need to have an explanation is the better way to go for that. Um, so people, here we go. This is a good one. Crip. Uh, oh, it's a kitchen revised edition. Edition. Explain wheat germ equals protein. You can get it if you're interested in on Amazon, I think. But yeah, don't worry about it. And now Mike is like, oh, okay, or just yeah, oh yeah, true. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So I think this goes back here. And then we go back into here. Okay. Then TV. What TV? Me. LWG. We've been. We're still on Friends rewatch like in the evening before we put the dogs to bed and before we like do our joint TV time. Um, and even though there are some parts, Friends is a problematic fave because there's a lot of like generalized queer phobia in it, and we all know the issues of Friends. I mean, people of color like don't exist or hardly exist. It's a very white cishet show, and the fat phobia and stuff like that. But it's also, I'm still like, I don't laugh at those jokes, but there's other things outside of that that are just absolutely hilarious. And it's amazing to me because I haven't watched it in years how much of it I remember. Um, watch the episode the other day where um, what's her pickle? Rachel lies about her boss wanting to buy her baby to try and get Joey to talk to her again. I just, I'm not saying yes, that was very problematic. Yeah. Um, I just howled. I just howled. Uh, I mean, and sometimes they're really horrible to each other, even. I mean, like, not even outside of the queer phobia that they lodge at each other. And like let's put aside the queer phobia and the fat phobia, and just the other things they do to each other. But it's like it's what friends do, it's what families do to each other. And I think that's one of the reasons why, even though it is problematic, and we can acknowledge that it's problematic and talk about the things that are problematic, it's the honest portrayal of friendships Like how like friendships that are like family, like actual real like ride or die friendships that are just, I mean, absolutely hilarious. But what happened? Porthos, did you fall when you were asleep? When the cats just fell off a dog kennel in his sleep. And that's always funny when that happens. Uh, so, I'm going to put um, friends. Oops, forgot the D. Um, and it's down. Now, the question is, do I just want to put an arrow? Yeah, I do. I don't want to have to write that over and over again. Um, yeah, poor cat. Cats are hilarious, especially when they scare themselves. My hands are too sore to have to write it over and over again. And this is an interesting way of doing this. Come on. I mean, it's down on the wrong line, but whatever. And let's see what's on. I added a bunch of things on my Netflix to start watching. Oh, Mustard Dogs. That's and Mer People. I have that I want to watch. Also, The Diplomat, and I don't know if that's a me show or if it is an Andrew and me show. I'm not sure. I think I want to watch Mustard Dogs next, which is just like a documentary about Australian Kelpie puppies that are being trained to be champion herding dogs. It's a little four-part thing. Um, and then there's something coming out this week on Netflix that I put on my list, and I can't remember what it is. It is some documentary type thing, and I wish I could remember. Oh, King Richard. We already have that on other things. Interesting. Um, is it on my notifications, maybe? Mm, no. Suggested for tonight? I don't think so. Nope. Well, that is a mystery. Maybe it's on. Maybe it was on Amazon. Let me check Amazon Prime. Oops, which is different than in the U.S. Then again, wrong. Wrong. Continue watching. I don't like when that happens. I've watched it. Thank you. Creed 3. Now, where is watch list? Megan, I want to watch. Oh, Jury Duty. That's it. Jury Duty is finally available in Canada, and that's what we're going to start watching tonight. My partner does not think this is going to be for them, just because the whole situation, like when I explained it to them, they got very anxious. But I think they will like it because a guy who's like duped into thinking he's really on jury duty is just very, very nice and very sweet. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to be watching tonight. Um, and that will still continue into at least Tuesday and Thursday. So, jury duty. I think they're an hour long. I should have checked that. Oh well. Put that down. Do you know the premise of jury duty? If not, then I will tell you. 'Cause I think it's hilarious. And it could be very, very stress inducing. That's for sure. And then let's do some deco. I haven't done that. Like I'm still in January. I haven't even journaled. Like what the heck and heck. I have to like go back when I'm like redoing this, like backfilling. At least I've been putting on my website when articles going out, so I can like at least put in here what articles have been going out. Okay, so jury duty. This guy is summoned to jury duty, and it's like a bunch of improv actors. Like nobody is real. Nobody's real. A bunch of improv actors, and then there's like this one real actor who tries to get out of like his whole shtick is to get out of jury duty because he's a well-known actor and he's afraid he's going to cause a distraction. And so it's just basically this guy on a fake jury duty, and everyone elects him as the chairman of the jury, and it's just basically them like derailing him or attempting to, and he's like really like he's just really good, but yeah, fake jury duty, and he has no idea until the very, very, very last episode when they let him know what had been going on. So, and I've seen like little clips on Live with Kelly and Mark, and what I've seen of it is just very sweet. Um, and hilarious. When the last episode aired, they had when the first right before it came out, they had like the famous actor who's on it. Can't remember who it is because it's an actor I've never heard of before, but apparently he's pretty well known. Go on to like sell it before it started airing, and then on after it finished and it was becoming available to other countries in the world because it was only available in America for the longest time. Um, they had the guy on, and um, because he's just really good. Yeah, so it's on Amazon Prime. I had my friend Carson visit that day for a couple hours. And then let's do. I wonder if there's anything in this book that I can use. It's just like, hey, my friend is over for a visit. You like big stickers. Like that are like, hey, friend. This is all like food and stuff. Dogs. Oh, I know what I forgot to put on here. So, dog food making days. I knew I was forgetting something. Where are we? So that will be Wednesday and Saturday. Do I have any dog butts left? Well, even if I did, I put my things somewhere when I was tidying up. Why did I move stuff? I don't know. It's a mystery why I would hide stuff on me sometimes. Okay, let's go back to this. Food. I don't know if I want planets. I mean, bunnies in January don't seem and I'm saying I didn't know they sold raw meat dog food weekly packs that you just open and feed the dog, kind of like a meal kit. Yeah, um, that's becoming quite popular in different places, and some places it's easier than others to. So January, some places it's easier to others. That was not when Carson came. I was looking. That was a live plan with me. Um, they have a few places that do it here too and sell them um, via some pet stores. I know a few people who have started using them because they like that their dogs eat raw. The one thing about doing that though is to talk with your vet first because um, dogs are not obligate carnivores like cats, and they need things outside of meat to meet their omnivores like humans. And so unless it has like a supplement in it, your dog should be like regularly tested to make sure that they're not running um that they're not becoming deficient in certain vitamins. That's the only caution about those, is a lot of them sell themselves as um complete, and a lot of like complete dietary needs, and a lot of them aren't. And I'm like saying, is it closely? I would imagine costly. I would imagine yes, it is costly, and it's not necessarily healthier for them. It's like I saw someone the other day that I know and who's very intelligent, um, but they buy into the whole. I mean, so yeah, this is. I'm not trying. Okay, I'm going to add a pre-footnote to what I'm about to say, because it's like everybody has the capacity, no matter how intelligent you are, to give in to woo, especially if you are trying desperately to, as an example, you want to live healthier. And I know somebody, and this is like the same type of thing. And not like a saying that the one I saw came with other stuff like the carrot. Okay, but even with the carrot and stuff, like we make our dog's food, and there is a supplement that is prescribed by our vet that we have to add on top of it. Because even with the carrots, peas, spinach, pumpkin, lentils, rice, and eggs. We use eggs. Um, this still does not, they still need to have a supplement on top of it. And the website we use is Hillary's Blend. And you make the recipes, and then they let you know they let you know how much of the supplement you still have to use based off of what you're feeding them, because it's still really hard to make it complete. Um, Unless you're willing to spend a lot of money. Yeah, preface. I'm going to preface this with, it is really easy to buy into this type of thinking, especially if you want to live healthier, you have chronic health conditions, um, just a number of things. But they were feeling unwell, and they went to see a naturopath. And the naturopath is like, nope. This like the reason that you're feeling unwell is XYZ. And I know from my own health stuff that XYZ, like the reason that they told them is bunk. And they're like, here, have these drinks that probably cost an arm and a leg. Have these vitamin drinks. Well, if you're eating and I know this person eats a well-rounded diet, like have this drink that is mostly zinc and vitamin C. And all they did by drinking that zinc and vitamin C drink, because very, very few people, even unhoused people, have zinc or vitamin C deficiencies. Um, all you're making is really, really expensive urine when you're drinking these vitamin drinks. You're not absorbing them. They do not boost your immune system. You do not want your immune system boosted because that is what an autoimmune disorder is. Um, Zinc has been proven scientifically to not do anything to help with colds or allergies or anything. Zinc is just something that your body needs for bone health, and you get enough of it in your food. It does not do anything to your immune system. And you don't want to boost your immune system, period. End of story. Because, yeah, autoimmune disorders are not fun. And I'm telling you this from personal experience with them. But it just makes me like, and there's no way for me to tell this person, like, hey, you're just making really, really expensive urine by drinking this. Like, how do you tell somebody that without coming off as like, ew, you've just given into big pharma as an example? And it's like, no, that's not it. That is not it. But it's just it's one of the things I love about Dr. Mike is because he had somebody on he does a podcast, and he had a guest on that is like selling, who started their own sports drink brand, and for electrolytes for when you're working out, and but it also has some vitamins in it. And Dr. Mike is like said to them, like flat out, and I really like this about Dr. Mike, is like, you know what, the electrolytes are good when you're working out. Like that's really good. But I just want to tell you that like whoever told you to add vitamins to it is steering you wrong, because that vitamins are just going to end up in the urine, because your body excretes any extra vitamins that you take in that are on top of what your body needs. Your body is a very good filter, and it's not going to absorb that. And you'll probably smell it in your urine. It will be like you can smell when you're overproducing. And I'm saying, yeah, anyone that recommends drinking a supplement instead of food is weird. Yeah. So, and especially like I looked up the drink online, and I looked at the volume of vitamin C in it, and it's like, no, that's just gonna make really orange urine that smells really bad. Um, like that's one of the reasons why you have smelly urine after you have asparagus, is because it overloads your body. It's not because of the asparagus; it's the vitamins that your body is excreting, because it's had the asparagus is overloading it. Asparagus is good to eat. You just need to know that your body doesn't eat everything that's in the asparagus, so it gets rid of it. And but I think one of my biggest frustrations is this whole $1 billion business industry to boost your immune system, which A is not a thing, and be a boosted immune system is dangerous. Like, if you could actually boost your immune system, that's an autoimmune disorder, and those are disabling. You don't want that. You don't want a boosted immune system. And I get really, it's upsetting to me. And it's also amazing to me how just the ease at which nutritionists are able to do this because they are unregulated. At least in NBCs are unregulated. And Anomic is I just tell them to check out this article I saw and send them one about the topic. Ooh, that's a good idea. I could send them Dr. Mike videos. But then they like the reason why they're going to a nutritionist is because they don't trust regular doctors. So it's like I'm wondering if an article would work because it would be by. What if I was to send them like a scientific study? No, because they wouldn't know how to read it and know that like no pharmaceutical companies are sponsoring it. I don't know, but yeah, I would have to find an article that is not written by a doctor and written by maybe a dietitian. Yeah, that would work. Not a nutritionist, because again, nutritionists are problematic. Anyone could call themselves a nutritionist without having any education, but an actual registered dietitian. That is. Oh, Abby Sharp has some great videos on the topic. I could send them an Abby Sharp video. I think that would work. I want to have more flowers. I wonder if I have any here. It's just in here and I doubt it. I'm behind on my Abby Sharp watching, but she's been doing a lot of like what I eat in a day videos of like celebrities that I've never heard of before. like Real Housewives and stuff like that. Like things that are just not of my interest. And like I was saying, they have holistic articles about that. Oh, yes. And dietitians do look at nutrition holistically. But yeah, that's that's a good suggestion. It can get I mean it's it worries me. So if you're not careful, right? Like you can make you um unhealthy, sets you up for well, I mean it wastes money, number one, and if you do have an actual underlying condition that is causing your symptoms, I mean, it's just going to get worse because you're not treating it. You're just making really expensive urine. Think that works? Yes, I think that will work for that page. And I'm not a fan of people who prey on people who are unwell or have chronic conditions who are desperate to feel better. Anomic, they can do with the information what they want, yes. I mean, that's really all you can do is present them the information in a way that is gentle and caring, and hopefully they will like give it some consideration. Because like beating someone over the head with it is not going to change their minds. It's just going to make them you're part of the problem. You're like have given in to big pharma. which is upsetting on some levels. It's like letting them know. How do you let them gently know that you are looking out for their best interests? And especially someone like me who is chronically ill, has disabilities, and has like been on this path for a very, very long time. And like, not to be ooh, look at me about it, but I do have a book. God, that sounded like really obnoxious. I'm just saying, I have a degree of knowledge on these subjects that someone who is new to chronic illness does not necessarily have. I think that's a better way of putting it that doesn't sound so incredibly obnoxious. I don't like how much that covers up that photo. It's really weird. This is like January 15th that I have all these like spring flowers and themes on it. But I'm like, I don't care. A lot of other people would be like, oh, that's inappropriate. It's January. I am, ooh, like that. But I don't want to cover up that lily. What can I put behind these flowers that I don't really care about if it gets covered? Something like this, but not actually. How elitist, Jules. I'm glad you put the LOL so I know that you're joking. uh, this is how you know. Ooh, that works. This is how you know that I'm Canadian. Because when I talk about the fact that I might actually know something, I'm like, no, I take that back. How dare I? How dare I talk about my knowledge? I'm boasting. How dare I boast? Oh man, Canadians are. Oh, okay. Here is a story that I don't think I've told because I don't think it happened. So I've talked about this before. Canadians love to yield the right of way in traffic. And like if we see somebody who's wanting to get in, like say they're trying to get out of like a parking lot onto the highway and it's not like a regular intersection, the traffic will stop to let people waiting in. Like we love a good zipper, um, and that is like zippering. It's like part of our whole zippering um, culture is we let people in traffic. We don't make them wait for long periods of time. Like if we see them, like the rule is if we see them waiting for like three cars maximum is the most anyone should wait to be able to be let in on traffic. It's an unspoken rule, but it's a rule. So there is construction happening around the corner, which is causing, as people are like using our road as a detour to get around the construction that's going into the fall. There's just a lot more traffic on our road recently. And we had to go out to do some errands the other week. And we're at the bottom of our driveway and we're waiting to be let in. And it was just like one car went by and there was another vehicle behind it. And the vehicle stopped to let us out of our driveway and go on about our merry way. And my partner, being American and still not used to the whole fact that we yield traffic at like the drop of a hat, he throws up his hands and says, okay, now this is just getting ridiculous. Like letting us out of our driveway. Come on now, there was no one behind them. We could have waited. But I mean, and we could have waited. It was one vehicle. And if there was anyone behind them, they would have been holding up traffic behind them. There was no, but that's just Canadians for you. And it's I mean, it feeds into this whole idea of not bragging about your accomplishments. Like, where we are a ridiculous lot. Like, absolutely ridiculous. Anomik is saying in the DMV area, they will provide the person a friend, so no one can get in. Yeah, and I've been in American traffic. I've been in traffic in Chicago, in DC, and like no Nova. I've been in New York traffic. Um, I've been like even in small town Indiana. They're like, nope. Like you will get in when you get in, and that's it. That's that. That's it. That's all. So it's just yeah, we are ridiculous. We are a ridiculous country. Like it's just and it's not just like we live in a small town by American standards. It's not a small town by Canadian. You shall not pass. Yeah, that is how it is in America. Um and but even in like the bigger centers, this happens. Like we do not like to have to see people waiting. Everyone has somewhere to go, and if we just let people in, um, it will. I mean, life will go on in an orderly fashion. And I mean, people there's like these videos, and like, oh, and there goes my video. So I think yes, I think that is that for the evening. Hopefully, you can still hear me and see me as or not. You can't see me, but hopefully you can still hear me as I say thank you for joining me this evening or afternoon. I am sorry that it got cut off early because of my video battery situation. I will be back next Saturday at the same time, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. British Daylight Time. And I hope everyone has a safe and fantastic week. And if and I'm like saying, okay, good chatting. See you next time. And again, if something comes up, like a migraine or whatever, I will leave a message um, in the community tab on my page. Have a great weekend or week, everybody.